morning and welcome to Wake Up with Ann and Dave. Today I'd like to have a brief talk just on the environment. And when we think of the environment, we think of the tree huggers, the people at Greenpeace out there saving the whales, and the way we treat our nature, our environment. But environment is more than just our planet. The planet, of course, is very important, and I'll go into this in more detail in some future videos. But your first environment is your body. This is where you live. You live in your body and you live in an environment. The whole system in your body is an environment which needs to be nurtured, it needs to be fed well, and it needs to be looked after. And of course, after the body, you've got your home and the people around you. That's your environment. Where you go to work, where you go to play, the places that are close to you, that's your immediate environment around you. And then of course you've got your country. Your country as an environment, and the environment of your country, of course, is very important. And then of course we go to the wider world and our planet and the effects that we have on the wider world as an individual. What I do find is when I put little videos and stuff on Facebook or anything, any sort of social media, to show people the impact that they have on the environment in lots of ways that they haven't woken up to yet. It seems that people bypass it, or they might say I didn't see it, or no one comments, no one likes. Yet you put up something that's irrelevant and everybody gives it a tick, everyone likes it, everyone says, oh wow, that's good, that's funny. So people, in a way, they're not doing it on purpose because, as you know, most people are still asleep. They're protecting themselves, because if they knew the truth about how their lifestyles, what they eat, what they wear, what they do, impacts the environment, not only of your body, your local area and your home, but the whole world. And it is very important that we get this message out, because even though people say we have choices, we do have choices, and you should be looking at your choices. Myself and Dave made the choice to go vegan about 3 years ago, when we really woke up to what was going on. So being a vegan is not about a healthy diet. It is about a healthy diet, but it's much, much more than that. It's about a lifestyle. It's about having pride in yourself and your body, having pride in your environment, because the environmental impact of what you eat on the planet, on your neighborhood and on your body is so important. The consumption of meat and dairy is a lie. It's a lie that's fed to you by the corporations, because it is a commodity and it has a bottom dollar. The planet cannot support the amount of meat and dairy that we eat. And there's children in these third world countries that are starving because they have to sell their grain that we feed to animals. Animals are sentient beings. They have a right to live. But they're also being treated so cruelly and in such terrible conditions, and they're fed hormones, they're fed poisons, and they're actually fed meat themselves. Did you know that the beef cattle of the USA are actually our biggest sea predator? And cows are vegetarians. They're not meat eaters. And they're given grains. Cows eat grass. Grass is one of the best foods on the planet for us. And if you think you're starving when everything crashes down around you, just go out and eat the grass, because that'll probably sustain you. So let's start with the body. What you put into your body is very important. And it's not just about food, it's about your attitude to life. It's about having sleep, it's about reducing stress. But it's been proved over and over and over again that meat and dairy has a large impact on the diseases of today. Although we've been eating this way for a very, very long time, it's a trained thing. And in the old days, you might have had a bit of meat or an egg once, twice a week, if you were lucky, because we didn't have the money to afford it, which in a way was a good thing. because you can see that the older adults are actually more healthier than the middle-aged adults because they ate less of this. Dairy is not your friend. You're not a cow, you're not a calf, so why do you drink its milk? And this is a big contention with a lot of people. But I like dairy, I love my cheese, I love my milk. It's only something you've been trained to do by the corporations. Milk is for baby calves to help them grow into a cow. So why would it be a health food for you? People come to me about calcium. Oh, but I need to get my calcium from the milk. All the greens on the planet are full of calcium. But what about my protein? Beans, legumes, vegetables. Everything's got protein in it. The air that you breathe is protein. Animal protein has been shown over and over again to cause many diseases, heart disease, cancers. I'll put a video below from Dr. Greger, who tells you about the top 10 killers in the world today, and most of them can be cured by a plant-based diet. And a plant-based diet doesn't have to be hard. You can live like a peasant. You can have rice, potatoes, beans, peas, vegetables. The choices are actually endless, and people think you're restricted on a vegan diet, and I tell you that is not a fact. You get to explore more new tastes and foods. You get to feel better. You get to look better. You get to reverse your aging process by living on a plant-based diet. But the biggest thing that I want to tell you today is that eating meat and dairy is very, very detrimental to all environments, especially the planet. A third of the planet has been cleared for cattle grazing. We could revegetate most of our planet and just have select areas where we grow organic fruits and vegetables to sustain us. And we should bring that back to your local community. Your local community should be full of fruit trees, vegetables, all sorts of things. In gardens, in parks, on footpaths, in schools, in buildings. And food, fruit and veg, beans, legumes should be free to everyone. You just need to go outside and pick it. All parks should be food forests. There's so many advances in permaculture where we have fruit trees everywhere, and then people don't go hungry. We don't need to mow down acres and acres and trillions of acres of land for endless rows of monocrops that are sprayed with chemicals that are polluting our air. The runoff from cattle grazing into our streams, into our oceans is devastating. We're killing the nature of our planet through grazing cattle. So next time you have a steak or a hamburger, really think about it. Look at those videos that are around. Watch Earthlings and then see how you feel. Watch people being mean and cruel to animals, digging in with pitchforks, cutting off their appendages, cutting off their beaks, throwing baby chickens into mixers and grinding them up alive. Go and have a look and then rethink about what you're doing. Don't turn a blind eye to this, and don't put your blinkers on. It's time to wake up, people. Look at what's happening in the food industry. We're all sick. Nobody's healthy because we're eating the wrong way. We need to go back to nature, our beautiful nature, and eat the food that pops out of the ground for us. It's a miracle. You put a seed in the ground and this beautiful plant emerges from the ground, ready for you to nourish your body. We can go into more detail in further videos, but I really want you to have a look at some of the videos that are around that will show you the real truth and why you do what you do, because you're asleep. It's not your fault. You've been trained to do this. So now it's time to wake up. Grab your mung beans and let's get healthy. Not just here, but our whole planet and our whole population. So here's cheers, and I'll see you in the next video.